get that mindset to put your shoulder on somebody.
Dig, drop, you're finished.
Hey, first down. This is weird. Get worse than that, sorry.
Well, hello, everybody. Here we are again. The After Hours Jets Fest. What do you guys think of the circle? Is it weird and dumb? Is it weird and dumb and stupid and stuff? Let me know what you guys think. I'll tell you, man, what a life we have as Jets fans. You know, I don't think anybody in the NFL realizes just what it is to be a New York Jets fan. Like, for real, guys. Nobody has this crazy back and forth that we do. I mean, look, we were as disappointed. And you know what's crazy about last night's game, the Monday night game against the Buffalo Bills, is that we looked better on offense than we have in a very, very long time. And yes, you can say the Patriots game, but even still, we didn't look as crisp as we did last night consistently. 400 yards of offense, nullified in some respects, a quarter of it, 110 yards and penalties at the same time. And that's the game our defense decides, you know what? We don't know how to do defensive things. Like a full game, right? We don't get that. Defense is dominant. The offense can't get a first down. The offense is humming, and the defense is all of a sudden, completely different than what they look like regularly. Now, run stopping has been an issue for us, so that's not to say that last night was anomalous in that respect. At the same time, it was bad last night, and it's just felt like, what's going on? And then DJ Reed gets hurt. He's playing the best football out of anybody on the defense. And then he gets hurt. And then we lose after just opportunity after opportunity after opportunity is squandered. 2 missed field goals. A penalty called on a beautiful touchdown. Dominant, balls in your face type of touchdown. And we lose late at night on a Monday in front of the world. That's 2 consecutive Monday Night Football games that we've lost now. And the London game. So 3 of our 4 primetime games we've lost. Not that 9:30 a.m. is prime time, of course. But then they turn around, and within a couple hours, you wake up, you're making coffee, or you just got to work or whatever, and the Jets traded for Davante Adams. It's over. Conditional 3rd-round pick. Ian Rappaport. Like, what? Is that what? What's going on? Am I happy? Am I sad? Am I mad? Am I done? Am I in? What the hell's going on with this team? So it's one of those things, man. It's like we don't get to it's just not normal. Okay? Let me say that. And then our owner, like we're going to talk about tonight, our owner, Woody Johnson, is at the forefront of everything. We're firing the coach, it's Woody Johnson. We're traded for Davante Adams, it's Woody Johnson. I mean, what's going on? Dakota likes Davante Adams here. He's like, I'm psyched about that. Yeah. Clap, clap. Juggalo Jets fans here. Sunday Night Football, baby, means I get to watch another JETS game. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. I can't wait until the primetime piece is over with this season, man. You know, I love and miss 1:00 games. The back end of the schedule, if you haven't looked or paid attention to it or whatever, is the back end of the schedule is all 1:00 games, most of them anyway. It's like 5, 6 in a row, something like that. So that's pretty cool. Dakota says we're loaded now. I mean, what do you guys think about the Mike Williams thing? Let me know in the chat. Let me know. Wyatt agrees. It's weird and dumb and stupid and stuff. Yes. You guys like the circle? Tell me about the circle. I'll do a poll real quick because I don't know what I kind of like it in a weird way, and then I'm like, I don't know, it's weird and stupid and stuff. So let's see. Let me do a poll real quick. Do you like the circle? Real simple. Circle. Yeah. Do you like the circle? Yes and no. We'll just do that. Let me know what you think in the chat. Okay. So I don't know. I'll switch it back for the time being. It's weird. I don't know what to make. If I'm going to do this, I'd have to create some stuff around it, some moving shit and all that. All right. So what do you think about this? Number one, the circle, of course. But what do you think about the is that better? You like to see all the stuff? All the shit that I got laying around? What about this? The square. We'll do the rectangle. So what do you guys think about the fact that Woody Johnson is really out front? It's definitely round. Yeah, he says it is. It's painful to be a Jets fan. Yeah, man. 7 levels says I don't prefer the circle. Finnegan's in the house. Finnegan, he's out there in Iowa, the poor guy. Jets fan in Iowa. And it's like he's got to be asking himself, right, Finnegan? Like, what? Why? What am I doing? What am I doing here with these? If it wasn't for us, right, Finnegan? If it wasn't for like the Jets fans. Now, a lot of us are crazy and borderline annoying at times, and we're definitely emotionally based and we're drastic, right? We're crazy. But we're a passionate bunch, and you feel like there's a community. There's definitely a community amongst the crew. And I tell you, so many times, like it's you guys. And I'm like, thank goodness for these guys because shit, man. Like back in high school when I used to have to do this alone before the internet and everything. Before the internet. Yes, you heard it right. Before the internet, when we had payphones and shit. If we wanted to call mom, we had to go to the payphone. Oh, sorry. We had to go to the payphone. But yeah, I mean, it was like 5 Jets fans in the whole high school. And we became friends because of that. All right, let's see what we got. New York Jets, new GM. Yeah. So we'll talk about that, Brandon. Because where the hell is Joe Douglas in all this? Now, I would imagine he had something to do with the trade and the compensation and all that shit, but Woody's out there talking about thinking being overrated. Let me see if I can find you guys a clip. Thinking is overrated. Let's see. Where's the video? I'm going to show you guys the video of Woody Johnson. Thinking is overrated. Come on, I hope this is the video. All right, let's see here. I'm going to share it with you guys. I also want to show you guys, if you guys didn't see it, the Dan Orlovsky breakdown of the interception last night. All right, let's do this. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully you guys will hear it. But check this out. This is our guy.
Woody, we're hearing the news that you guys are.
Why? Was it in the news?
Yeah, we're hearing the good news that you guys are finally able to get this deal done to get Davante Adams as a New York Jet.
Oh, I don't know.
It?
It's in the hopper, but yeah. Well, we want to bring a lot of change this week. Unfortunate about the game last night, missing those kicks, but it was a competitive game. So yeah. So, you guys happy or interested? How you doing?
Hey, Woody, how you doing?
Nice.
I don't know, man.
How much say did Aaron Rodgers have in bringing Davante to New York? Is it something he wanted?
Well, we know that they've played together.
Well, that's his phone. I was like, that's not whose phone.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody would be interested in looking at this gentleman. And he has a proven skill. That's for sure.
Did Aaron,
What are your feelings? Like,
Pardon?
what do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah, what do you think?
I think he adds to the running game. He adds to he really makes everything. He opens up everything. Particularly having that relationship with.
Isn't he though,
quarterback,
Finnegan?
That's very important. You could see it last night. You could watch a quarterback. It takes a while for a quarterback to get into that, and you could see Garrett is finally getting that, and he played a good game, much better than the week before, and next week will be better.
You guys made a lot of changes, right? So you guys
Change
fired.
the status quo is killer.
Well, from what you saw with these changes that you guys have made on offense, what would you like from Todd Downing's play calling?
Come on,
yesterday?
how
Just
long is this?
for
I
making
like
these
moving the
adjustments?
ball. I like much more efficient passing. I didn't like the penalties, particularly the penalties at absolutely the wrong time. Holding penalties and all those. So I think
Oh, he's so awkward.
that's only been a week, so less than a week. So I expect all of those things to improve pretty dramatically.
Woody, at 2-4, a lot of people would think, okay, the season is in crisis right now. What's your sense in terms of how quickly you can turn this around, and can you still a championship this year?
Thinking is overrated.
You know,
You have to look forward. You have to look forward to the games we're going to play each and every week, and try to win all of them. And that's basic stuff, right?
are you
I was saying Talladega Nights. You've heard of that?
yeah.
That one scene, he said, "You're not a thinker, you're a driver," right? And a lot of times it is. You just have to go with your instinct and what's the best thing to build a team and build a winning team and most importantly, build a culture of winning. And I think, based on what I saw yesterday, I think we're starting in a new and more exciting direction.
What difference do you think Brett's made so
far?
All right, enough. I can't with him. So he said thinking is overrated, and then the comment after it is like in Talladega Nights. You know, like that's a comedy. It's about an idiot, Woody. You're not a thinker, you're a driver, right? Yeah, I get it. But it's like that's his justification for the comment. And I know he's trying to be playful. Like, I get it. Like, I'm not going to be, like the media likes to take it and make it a big thing. Like it's this big dramatic. It's not that. He's trying to be funny, but the point remains, like he's out front. I just wish he wasn't out front, guys. I really don't. I just wish he was somewhere else. Just pay the checks, man. You know what I mean? Like he loves it. Surprised he's not wearing his Woody necklace. Main Cat's checking in. Thank you, buddy. He says, I don't know how I should feel after this game. Optimistic because we're close and have Adams, or pissed because we do Jet things any given Sunday. Well, the good news is this. Here's the good news. We did get Davante Adams today. Out of any wide receiver, like Amari Cooper, it's a good signing for the Bills. Amari Cooper's been traded a lot. He's traded often. I think this is the fourth time he's traded. So there's something up with Amari Cooper. But nobody we were going to get lands here as turnkey as Davante Adams. And we've talked about this. But like he lands, he's played in this offense at a very, very high level. He's played with the quarterback for many years at a very, very high level. Now, they've been apart for 2 years. So there's that. And a lot can happen in 2 years, as we know. More than most. A lot can happen in 2 games, 2 weeks, But I think he's still a stud in the league. He might not be what he was 2 years ago, but we have Garrett Wilson. Like, I was talking about it on the panel earlier. Like, this diminishes Garrett Wilson. Is he on his way out? It's like when they were talking about, trading Garrett Wilson for, it's like, it's dumb. There's no way. It doesn't diminish anything. It doesn't even impact him in a negative way in any way, shape, or form. This is going to pull a lot of the coverages. Like, go ahead and bracket and double Garrett Wilson. Davante Adams is not going to make the mistake that we saw Mike Williams make last night. And we'll show you that breakdown in a few minutes. And by we, I mean all the people that live in here. All of us. We're going to show it to you guys. That's what we'll do. But I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man, Catch. Like which way to be. There's a silver lining, Davante Adams. The other pieces, and I know it's corny and it's a moral victory kind of a thing. And it's, it gets like, look, as annoyed as you guys are hearing shit like this, because I am too. I hear it, I'm like, ugh. But to say it from this perspective, it's even worse. But it is true is that we lost the last 3 games by a combined 10 points. And that's not nothing. We haven't been able to seal the deal, but the only game that we looked like real dog shit and got beaten, like we were out-muscled, is the San Francisco game. Week 1 in their house, Monday Night Football. Nobody played in the preseason, no tackling drills in training camp, and it was evident. It was evident. Every other game, as we look sloppy, this side's weak, the road can't stop the run, whatever it might be. They didn't, like, no team has come in and walloped us. And the best example would, the worst it had been, other than San Francisco, would be the 17-0 first quarter, I think it was, against the Vikings. But after that, we settled it down. We were in that game and had a chance to win it at the end. The ball was in our hands, and we were on the 26-yard line. It's like we were right there. So I don't know what to be. Phenom can tell you. Phenom knows what to be. Phenom's optimistic, I think. Dude, I got such quality time with this fella at the bar when we hung out on the Saturday before the Denver game. All day. I mean, I felt like I hung out with Phenom maybe more than anybody. The only other one would be Jason Edwards and his wife. Like, that got the amount. Phenom's a fucking good hang, everybody. You can't get the true feel for players in 6 games. I hear you. I agree. Like when we say Garrett sucks or Brees sucks or AVT sucks, like Tippmann's a bust. Like, we like to do that stuff. And it's just like, I don't know, man. Let's give him a second. Now, the problem is you can't give him too many seconds because then you're out of contention. You got to win every game to even be in the conversation. That's not a position you want to be in, Phenom. At the same time, you're right. Paul Cuomo checking in. If I need someone to make a catch, Williams over Lazard. I would agree. Although, while Lazard is particularly in the Vikings game, he's just like somebody said it, I think, yesterday. He's the true Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde of the NFL, of the Jets at least, right? He's like, one game, like, he looks like $1 million. And then he comes back and he can't catch. So I don't know. Mike Williams is a stud. I'm hoping that they're not really. I mean, the rumor is that they're talking about trading him. But for what? You can't get your 3rd round pick in the game on the active roster, Malachi Corley. You can't even get him suited up for whatever reason. You got Gibson running around, and he's on the Hail Mary. Like, dude, he's 5'6" or 7. Like, why is he the guy? 5'8", something like that. And Gibson's not bad, right? But come on. You know what I mean? They're committed to him. You got to give it. I respect that on some levels, but you know what I mean? Like, having Mike Williams, Garrett Wilson, and Davante Adams as your 11 personnel pack, dude, come on. Mike Williams just has to run the right routes because Aaron Rodgers was not happy. E-Boogie, my buddy, checking in. He says, the offense is getting better, but the defense is really holding us back. Q is defensive tackle, safety, or edge is now the new big need. Oh, question. I'm sorry. I thought you meant Quinnen. Is defensive tackle, safety, or edge the new big need? You know what I would say? I would say edge and just play your base and make sure that you got your middle linebackers. You know, like CJ Mosley and Jamie Sherwood could lump up any. I mean, dude, like you got to have them on the field when they're gashing you. You need your linebackers, man, and just play your two corners and your two safeties in pass coverage. Like we don't need the nickel. Like Isaiah. I mean, Isaiah Oliver and Ashton Davis and Brandon Eccles. Like having all of those guys on the field. It's one thing when you're nickel. When you got Sauce, DJ Reed, Chuck Clark and Tony Adams out there, and the nickel is Michael Carter, the second. That's a different story. Now Chuck Clark's hurt, Michael Carter's out, DJ Reed is hurt, and now you're looking at playing your nickel with Isaiah Oliver, Ashton Davis, Tony Adams, Brandon Eccles. Like that's not, dude, you got to stick with your base defense. It's just the way you got to do it. That's my thought on the matter, because your best players have to be on the field. You can't have liabilities out there, and they can all play. But so I would say edge for the pass rush, because defensive tackle can be backed up by the base defense with the linebackers on the field. That's my thoughts. And I would keep Fotu in there more because they know that's our weakness. And let him get his feet under him. Kareem Carson wants Bullock. Yeah, I don't know. And then you do that, and Bullock makes 3 kicks, and we cheer him, and then a fucking week later, he out of a 49-yarder, and he misses it, and you miss Greg the leg. Yeah, I don't know. I hear you, Kareem, but still. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't like it's tough. Let's see what we got. Tony the GM, my bud. You build culture by drafting and playing your guys. Yeah, and I think we've done a good job. Like, look, when this shit's going to pieces, we saw it even in the last 2 years. Outside of like the Elijah Moore shit, and I think Adrian Amos had some issues last year, but quiet. We just let him go. Goodbye. Like the character of the guys has kept it together. The CJ Mosleys, the Garrett Wilsons, the Jermaine Johnsons and Quinnans of the world. Like they've kept it all together. Like, again, outside of Elijah Moore, who's a punk. All right, I want to see real quick. I see you, Egerton. You're up next. Let me see what you guys thought of the poll. Where's the fucking poll? Wait, let me see. Where's the poll? I put the poll up there, right? Where's the poll? Let me see something here. Come on. Did I not put the poll up there? Get out of here. Start a poll. Well, whatever. I'll ask you. I'll put the circle back and see if you guys like it. Let me see. Do you like the circle? What the hell happened? Yes, no. Start the poll. There it is. Maybe I ended it right away. I don't know. Did you guys vote? Here, vote for it. I'll put the circle up so you can see it again. There it is. Here, Wyatt. That's for you. You can see the circle. Let's get back to the comments. All right, Egerton, where are you, buddy? Egerton Bullock checking in. Woody was responsible for us drafting Zach. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's thoughts that, people have that support that. But Joe Douglas, the way that it came out is that Joe Douglas, very matter-of-factly, looked at it like this. I have the 2nd overall pick. My plan is to never be down here again in pick 2. Right? We want to get out of here. So this is our opportunity. I have a quarterback named Sam Darnold, and I have an opportunity to take a kid named Zach Wilson because I have the number 2 pick. Trevor Lawrence is going to be the 1st overall pick. 99% chance. And he made the decision. I would rather have Zach Wilson. And, don't forget, we had Greg Knapp at the time, and he tragically passed away. He's a true quarterback whisperer. Like lots of quarterbacks say, oh, Greg Knapp, he changed my career. Peyton Manning, Steve Young, those kind of guys, right? So he was the guy that was on the staff that made it okay to have a first-year offensive coordinator with a first-year quarterback. We never got to see that. So that was a hindrance. That was a major hit. Obviously bigger for his family than for us, but still, as we sit here and talk about the New York Jets, it was a hindrance, right? So when he looks at it, he's like, I got Greg Knapp, I got young offensive mind, Mike LaFleur. Who do I want? Do I want to bring in the guy who's shell-shocked and happy feet? At that time, he was. Or do I want to switch to Zach Wilson? And he said very simply, I'd rather have Zach Wilson start fresh, not keep the last regime's holdover. He hasn't done much and enough to want to do that. He got a second, a fourth, and a sixth for Sam. Not bad. And he took Zach Wilson. So, I mean, look, you guys remember, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to keep Sam either, though. I wanted to trade Sam. I thought he could get a second. So get a second for Sam. Get a, take that trade package that you knew was being offered to get up there. It happened to pick 3 right behind us. They got that first, which was 12. And they got 2 more firsts and a third-round pick in that draft. So they got a first and third in that draft. They got 2 additional firsts. I was like, you take that every day of the week, slide back to 12, and you see who's there. If it's Justin Fields, if it's Mac Jones, if it's Kyle Trask, you take that guy. Any one of them would have done what Zach did for us. You do that. I think Justin Fields made it to, what was it, pick 10? Something like that. So you could have even did what Miami did. They traded back to 12 and then took one of the picks and moved up to 6. So they ended up sliding back 3 spots. They got an additional third, an additional first. You know what I mean? And they took, what's his name? Waddle. So I don't know if that's true. I hear you with JetBlue friend thing and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if that's the case. I'm not sure, buddy. Paris, my friend, says the Jets are going to lose to Mike Tomlin and the Steelers Sunday night unless the Jets get some major turnovers. This team isn't good at getting fun. We really are not. We haven't been consistently in the Saleh regime. And this is still the Saleh regime. I mean, he's not here. Now the old brick regime, but don't forget, Saleh brought him here. You know what I mean? So this is Saleh's guys, I think, for the most part. So the whole time, this whole last 4 years, turnovers have been elusive for us. We start the seasons, and this year we're not. So maybe we'll finish strong. That'd be real nice. Every other year, like we start really good. There was a stretch last year, like 5-6 games. We had at least 1 turnover in every game. In the Eagles game, we had 3. That's how we won that game. It wasn't the offense. We think we kicked 5 field goals in that game. We beat the Eagles, 3 turnovers. Wyatt checking in. What's up, buddy? Wyatt, our wayward Jets fan that got to his first Jets game, a rainy affair, wet, sloppy, soggy mess. He says, I watched a video about Jets history, and I'm starting to think we are cursed, not by Joe Namath, but by Woody. For some reason, we cannot win under Woody. I'm confident we will come back, though. Well, you know what's interesting about that comment, everybody? That the truth is, the first 10 years, let's see, he took over the team in, what was it, 1999, right? So that was Parcells' last year. Now, Parcells, that was the year Vinny Testaverde tore his Achilles, and we had some fun with Rick Meyer. He sucked. And then when we switched to Ray Lucas, we were one of the best teams in the NFL. We were just $1 short, a day late. We ended up being 8-8. If we were 9-7 and got in the playoffs, we would have done some real damage. We were cruising that year, right? So we had an 8-8 year that year. The next year, Bill Belichick hired and quits. We sign Al Groh. We're 9-7 again, but just missed the. We're 9-7, but we just missed the playoffs. Al Groh leaves for University of Virginia down the street here, and they hire Herm Edwards. Herm Edwards' years were fun. They were good. We were competitive. Chad Pennington, right? Curtis Martin, Kevin Mawai, Wayne Krebet. They were fun years, man. Lavernius Coles, Santana Moss when the Coles left. And then we traded Santana Moss for Lavernius Coles. Silly move. So we had the Herm years. Now the last one or two wasn't good, but he won. We were a competitive team. Then we hired Mangenius. We were 10-6. Then we were 6-10. Then we were 9-7. Fired Mangini. Brought on Rex Ryan. We were 9-7, 11-5, 8-8. So you see what I mean? Like Woody's first. What is it? Let's see. You got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And only like 2 losing seasons in there. So it was like really good. It's just been the last 14. It's crazy, Wyatt. And the thing is that if you really look deep in the Jets history, you'll see this is kind of us. Even in the 80s, we had 85 and obviously 81, 82. Then we had 85, 86. They were great. In the 90s, we had some really good teams, made the playoffs. I forget, but even then it was like we sucked. I think the 90s that was the end of Joel Walton and Bruce Coslett. It was 91. So maybe, I guess Bruce Coslett, Pete Carroll, Kotite. Jesus Christmas, guys. Oh, so why we're fucking terrible, man. Like, let's be real. They give us just enough to keep us hanging around, man. Just enough. Mercy Fate. What's up, buddy? Out there in Seattle listening to King Diamond. We're going to see him. What's it? The 15th in 13 days. I will be with the King in Baltimore, buddy. My son's first time seeing King Diamond. I'm psyched. And I'll bring my buddy's son. He's up there at MIT school in Baltimore. I'm going to bring him too. People being negative about Adams do not understand the magnitude of how much he and Rodgers elevate one another's games. If we did this 3 weeks ago, I think we're 4-2. Yeah, I would say the same thing. I mean, we have to believe that he's healthy and that he's going to come right out and play. If he does that, I'm right with you. I really am. Oh, the main catch with his member super chat, everybody. Right on. Join the Stream Beaners. Support the channel. You get the emojis, the free super chats, and members-only content. So thank you, man. You're the best. I appreciate the support sincerely. So that's the circle, by the way. Let me read your comment, and then we'll end the poll. I think most people are going to hate the fucking circle, and I'll go back to the big thing. If I get some twinkly snow or something around it, maybe you guys will like it better. I'll work on it. 11 games to go. We have a lot of football. 11-0, baby. Let's fucking go. Hall of Fame quarterback and Hall of Fame wide receiver. We can do this. We bleed green. I'm with you. I am. I'm with you, main catch. Let me end the poll, see what you guys are thinking about this circle. All right. I asked, do you like the circle or no? Do you like it? And 56% said no. 43% said yes. All right. Well, we'll sprinkle it in for the 46%. I'm going to go back to the regular thing now for a little while. I don't know. I feel better. I feel very confined in the circle. I'm like, I keep moving outside of it because I'm a mover. I'm a hands talker and shit. All right. Billy, my buddy, checking in. He says, actually, the NFL should force the Jets to take the New Jersey name and give us another football team. Well, what if you're from Jersey? Well, you got to take their team? Again, I was talking about this in the last show. The Jets are 9 miles. We play the Giants too. They're 9 miles from New York. It's nothing. Like Buffalo plays 18.8 miles from their stadium. And they're still called Buffalo. You know what I mean? Like 9 miles the other way. It just happens to be right there. It was just land. Now, I'm biased because I'm a Jersey person. Now, I don't live there. I haven't lived there really since 2006. Early 2006, like January, I left. So really 2005. So it's been a long time. But I'm a Jersey guy. So I was biased. I didn't want to fucking travel to New York to play a game, Billy. But so I do have that bias to me. But at the same time, it never bothered me. It was like, I don't know. Like, again, the city's right there. Like, if I was ever in East Rutherford or Secaucus or any of that, and I wanted to go to the city, it felt like a skip. I was like, yeah, I'm going to head to the city real quick. Especially back when the tunnel was $4. Remember that, Billy? The tunnel was $4. I'd go get whatever I needed in the city. I call a guy. He's going to meet me on 54th Street. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be there in 15 minutes. You know what I mean? And I'm about to tell him I'm going to be back here in a half hour. Like, so to me, that's New York. The whole area is New York to me. Hoboken, even up north, like Fort Lee and Englewood, that's New York to me. I know it's not, but it is to me. It's New York in my heart. Let's take a look at this thing. Orlovsky. How the fuck do you say that guy's name? What's his name? Let me see. Daniel Orlovsky, right? Dan Orlovsky. There it is. Dan Orlovsky. All right, let me show you guys this thing. Yeah, I'll follow him. All right, let me show you guys. He puts out so much shit. All right, hold on a second. Let me message it to myself. Hold on. So I'm going to show you guys the breakdown of this play. Okay. The interception. Let me do this. All right. Sorry. Just bear with me for a split second, everybody. I'll send it to this guy. There you go. And now I can get it up here. So when we do this, all right, here we go. I'm going to open this up for you guys. All right, let me show you guys this. You're going to love this. So this is the breakdown. If you've seen it, it's still a good watch. But if you haven't seen it, it's really, really detailed and explains a lot. Sharon says you feel the love in the circle of life. Yeah, man. Okay, well, see, I don't hate it. It's just weird. Right. Joe M says, I love you, but even the Jets are New Jersey. Again, man, I hear you. But if you're going to give us shit for not playing in New York because we're 9 miles away, then you got to, in Buffalo, then you got to hold everybody to the same standard. But it's the closest city. Well, that's the closest city to this. You know what I mean? Nah, man. You're in fucking Orchard Park Bills. I don't even know if that's the town. I know they used to be this stadium, right? Is it still this? I don't even know. Anyway, let me show you guys this clip and we'll watch this and see what's going on here. All right. Can you guys hear it?
All right. So the final interception.
You can hear it, right? Tell me if you can hear it, Dana. Orchard Park Bills, right? BP York. B-Pie. Let me see if field goal free agent kickers are out. Yeah, take a look. There's nobody out there. There's like one guy. Everybody's taken. I can't turn it up any more than it is, I don't think. No, it's max. But can you guys hear it? You can hear it? Okay. So this is Dan Orlovsky breaking down the last play of the game. Not the game, but the interception last night that killed our hopes.
Late game last night. Where's the execution need to be better? What's Rodgers talking about post game when he's saying, hey, I'm expecting Mike to be on a red line, taking their shot downfield? All the details attached to it. Again, a massive part of this is the details of offensive execution. Okay, so number one, when Aaron's talking about the red line, every team essentially has a red line that is painted from end zone to end zone, and it will go 5 yards from the sideline. So up here, 5 yards from the sideline, and it'll be painted all the way down the field. And when they throw vertical shots outside, you tell the wide receiver, hold the red line, stay on the red line. And so then there's space to drift that wide receiver towards the sideline. Okay, so that's when Aaron's saying, I'm expecting him to be on a red line. He's expecting Mike to be out here. Okay, so that's the premise of when he says, hold the red line. He's expecting Mike to be out here 5 yards from the sideline. Okay, so now why? Why would that be the case? Number one, you're expecting Buffalo to be in some form of a two deep safety defense, which is what they spin to. Taron Johnson spins back. Two deep safeties, meaning you're deep and you're deep. All right. This safety, DeMar Hamlin, spun down into that middle linebacker run through. Now, two, the alignment. You have the slot receiver on the ball, the outside receiver off the ball. Why? You want this receiver to get vertical as quickly as possible to threaten that half field safety. Okay. That two deep half field safety. You want this receiver on the outside to be 5 yards.
Too. You see how Lazard, I think it's Lazard. You see how he's selling it? He raises his hand. Oh, I'm open. And that just pulls the safety. You see it? Yo, right here. So if the safety goes with Williams, Lazard is that open. This guy right here, number 3, that Hamlin, he's in trouble. He's still trying to pick up speed. He's already full speed. He's burnt in this position. He's got to make up a lot of ground. So he is open. So the fact, like what he's talking about here, this guy's first because they'll pull him. If he stays home and goes with Mike Williams, who's already beaten this guy, well, that's his zone anyway. He's going to stay there. So if he does stay there, Lazard's wide open down the middle of the field, down the hash. So it's really interesting. You see how they think. But again, like he said, you have him recessed because this is the real goal. You want to get it to downfield threat Mike Williams.
Behind this receiver. You're trying to put this guy in stress. If they're both here at the same depth, there's not enough stress. You want this safety to feel that speed down the field and that I have to go cover him and almost void that really deep half priority or rule and play this receiver. And as this safety leaves, you want this then receiver to replace. Okay. So you want that disparity. That's perfect right there. The only problem is you want Mike here. You want Mike to be about 6 or 7 yards wider. Now, if Mike is 6 or 7 yards wider, then you've really got something cooking. Now, is this ball going to be underthrown? Absolutely.
It's not, though.
But
that's the one thing I disagree with him. Because remember, Aaron Rodgers said I had to adjust. He's doing a no look. So he's staring down the center of the field. Why? To add to the facade. He's staring at Alan Lazard. Alan Lazard's waving. He's burnt the guy. The safety has to go. He can stay home, but really he can't. So Aaron Rodgers looking down the center of the field. He said it in the presser. I'm throwing essentially a no-look pass to the red line. I know where he's supposed to be. I can just go blip, but he looks. He's cocked. He's throwing it to the red line, and he sees he's 7 yards that way. I have to try to adjust. That takes some velocity off the ball. It's underthrown, and it's in the wrong spot. You see?
You don't mind the underthrow. If Mike, I promise you, if Mike is here, he's going to go make this catch. He's not going to slip. He's not going to need, the adjustment is going to be outside in rather than rolling over inside out. So that's exactly what happens. This is a really good play call. It's really good protection. It's fantastic by the slot. You get the safety to do exactly what you want. You just need Mike, after he gets to here, to widen. You need him to strain for width to get to there. If he does that, I believe he doesn't slip. It's an outside in rather than an inside out adjustment. And I think his size goes and makes that catch.
What do you think of that, guys? Let me know in the comments. What do you guys think of that? It's crazy. Where'd you guys go? We still here? Where'd everybody go? I don't see any comments. Let me see. You guys got no thoughts on that. Tough way to lose. Joe Like a Boss music. Tough way to lose. It is. And that's why, like, again, we were talking about this too earlier. People were telling me, dude, Aaron Rodgers is throwing his own players under the bus. Like, that's a problem. He's a dissenter. I was like, no, dude, we're talking about holding people accountable. They asked specifically what happened on the play. Do I got to eat this shit sandwich? I ate it all last week. I said I need to play better, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm done. You knew the damn play. This is the play. I have to have the ability to no look this shit or last second just turn my head because I'm fucking looking the safety off. Lazard's playing his role perfectly. He's streaking on what's essentially a deep post. He's raising his hand. He's selling it. I'm selling it. You are wide open. If you just go where I know you're going to be, dude, that is a touchdown. At minimum, the safety catches up and tackles you, but it's a first down. Now we're in field goal range to tie it if we need to. There's clearly no pick. It's a first down. At worst, it's first down on the 10-yard line. With all the momentum in the world, the stadium's rocking, everything's going. You see what I mean? Square me nail. Every little detail matters. What do they say, Square me weasel? Football is a game of inches and seconds. Like it's an hour play clock, but it's a 3-hour excursion, give or take, one way or the other. But it comes down to milliseconds, this game, and inches. You see so many times on the touchdown to Garrett Wilson. There's a defensive player. I don't know if it's a linebacker, I think, but he gets his hands up and he closes on the ball. The ball slips. His hands are like this. The ball slips right through and then his hands close. A half-second difference. And that's a tip pass. It's blocked. A half second. Not even a full second. It was instantaneous. It was like you can't even imagine how it got through. It's a game of inches and seconds. Every detail matters. Why do we believe in Corley after seeing how long it took Izzy? It took Izzy to do what? Look good in preseason? Izzy was a 5th-round pick. And there was an argument to say that was a little early for him. That said, that aside, Corley was their 4th-rated wide receiver in a very strong wide receiver class. They had him rated over plenty of guys. Roman Wilson, on and on and on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so they had him rated as the 4th receiver. So something's off somewhere. And don't say to me, like, okay, well, it takes a minute to do what, though? He's run routes. He's caught the ball. He's the fucking yak king. Like, you can't get him on the field for 3 plays? For 3 designed plays to Corley? Set up the blocking. He can play running back. Like, he's super versatile. Now, I understand. His routes aren't as crisp yet. He still doesn't know. We're seeing Mike Williams out there. Now, granted, Mike Williams is Mike Williams. He's done enough in the NFL. And I don't think anybody's saying Corley is going to be he's like, going to be a wide receiver 2 or something like that. But getting him on the field, the guy he led the entirety of college football with yards after the catch. It's what he does, get the ball in his hands. Now, the argument is, well, we got Brees and Braylon for that right now. And Isaiah Davis is on. So how many of it's redundant? Well, then why did you prioritize that skill set? Get me another streaker. Get me a shifty guy. Get me Malik Washington. Then, you know what I mean? Like when you're taking Malachi Corley, Braylon Allen, and Isaiah Davis in the same draft, you're saying that you want to achieve a certain goal, which is to be violent, to be physical, violent team. And then you got the guy, he can't even be active. Now, who knows? Maybe the last 7 games of the year, he's and they doing it right. But I find it hard to believe when we're losing games, and by the hair that we're losing, I think Malachi Corley can be a contributor and maybe be that little bit that gets you over that hump by a couple more first downs. Throw a little slant to him. Let him run. Get him on a screen. You got to get him out there. You can't bring him out there only for the plays designed for him. That's what they did remember Gase did with Michael Pirine? We did that. I forget the stat, but it was like 88% of the time he's on the field, they hand the ball off to him. But he's only on the field 19% of the plays. So as soon as they saw the Michael Pirine came out, it was a fair bet. It was a better than fair bet. If you walked into a casino and they said 88% of the time you win playing this number, you go, all right, well, I'm going to fucking play those odds. You know what I mean? So it's like the guy had no chance and he still had a 4-yard average with us. Everybody's like, Pirine sucks. Pirine sucks. I'm like, I don't know if anybody knows what the fuck they're watching anymore. I don't know. I argue with people that I fear might not know what the game of football is. Now, I'm no statistician. Want to see what I really look like? Look at this. This is what's going on. Look at this. What do you think? My wife said to me just the other day, she came out. I woke up and I come out of the bed and I look like this. And she's like, hey, she gave me a hug and she goes, the hair, man. Like, enough. I'm like, no, I want to doing something. Oh, look at that. I have it on wrong. Let me see. So I don't know. Dano. I think he can contribute more than Gibson and Irv Charles needs to be on there because he's the dynamo on special teams. And that's why I can't see. Dano. That'll do it. Let's see. Yeah, but nobody else can do that. So what? So let's look at our wide receiver room. You got now, right, as it stands today, you got Garrett Wilson, Davante Adams, Lazard. They're all locks, right? So you got Gibson, who's the punt returner, and Irv Charles is the special teamer, the gunner. So that's 5. So 6, Mike Williams. So what you're saying, I think, is, well, Corley's the odd man out because Gibson has the other role. And that's fair. That's fair. But is Gibson giving you that much on punt return? I mean, I don't know. Somebody else can't do it? Where would I be? I know, right? It's funny. Where would we be without Bates? I know Bates didn't see the field. He didn't play this week, I don't think. Ferkser was out there. He looked better than Bates. Get another old lineman. I know, man. I don't know. It's interesting. I look like you, Wesley. That's what you're sporting these days. That's good. Paul Rhea checking in. Has anyone else noticed that the pass before that hit Mike Williams straight in the nads when he jumped up? I thought we were going to hear about butt fumble 2.0. Yeah, it was a little quieter, but we all saw it. We all saw that one, man, for sure. Good, he deserves it, you know. But I still think, like, look, Mike Williams is an incredible talent. Now, maybe, just maybe, he's struggling to absorb the concepts, you know, the specific role, details of his route. Maybe in San Diego's offense, it wasn't so precise. I mean, I don't know. Like, if you're just sending guys on 9 routes, just sending them down the field, and you're just throwing it up, and he's just got to jump up and contested catch, that's a little different. Like, we were looking for a specific thing. He should be able to do it. He fucked it up, man. No, I can't even read Billy's comment. Nobody read Billy's comment. The worst. Don't do that, Billy. You know, you've been here long enough. We can't talk like that, man. It's all right. So we've been here an hour. What's this? Melt shock coming in. I would rather lose because of the other team is actually better, not because of penalties and missed field goals. And that, you know what? That is really a great comment, because I agree 100%. But at the same time, Bill, or Melt, remember the movie Bachelor Party? Anybody remember that? When he says, if you don't return the girls, Milt will cut your balls off, or milk, or Milt. He goes, milk. He goes, this being Milt. And the guy walks in, he's a 6'9" cowboy looking dude. He goes, oh, okay. He scissors. Anyway. So it's like, but here's the thing. Here's the differentiator that I need to point out between what you're saying and it being okay, because I would prefer that too. I'd rather lose a good game because they beat us than because we are idiots, right? That definitely. At the same time, it's better to be a competitive team and be in these games and make mistakes than it is to just go out there and watch a team like the Denver game. It felt like watching the last 6 years of Jets football. Like, we just can't get in the end zone. We get a couple field goals to make it like, all right, well, maybe if we get a bunch of field goals or we're still in it, you know, that kind of shit. But we're just dead. You know what I mean? Like, we got no life. We have no real hope. We can't hang with this team. Like, that to me is worse still. So I agree with you, but there's a difference. Like, you want to be a good team that your losses, you just get bested, I think is a good way to make sure that we say it. No. If you look at your comments, I can't. I'm a jinx guy, Billy. You know me by now. I'm jinx. If you look at your last couple comments, you'll see what I mean. I can't. I just can't read that one. Just that one. I said it better. Well, you said it well. I just got to make sure I'm clear for myself. It's like, those old movies, like you get the cat's paw or some shit and you go, I want my son back. You know, he died, and you say, I want my son back. And then he comes out of the ground. So you're like, you don't want that, right? It's like, you got to be real clear. So I'm like damaged by that kind of shit. Those kind of horror movies. Like, if I say this, I got to make sure I say that so this doesn't happen. I'm a freak. I'm a freak. Are Billy in Paris? I didn't realize they were in the middle of something. I just saw it. Maybe, Billy, take back what I said, because maybe I have it out of context. You guys are in a conversation that I didn't pick up. It's hard to pick up on the full conversation. Paulo Bermudez said, GreenBean, do you think Bill would even inquire about coaching his team next year? Or do you think he literally despises Woody? I don't think that should even be a conversation or a thought from any Jets fan, Paulo. I don't think he would consider. I mean, I think he would consider it if nobody's offering him a job and the Jets are, and he wants to coach, and that's a different thing. He knows, man. Dude, Paulo, how many times do we want to get scorned and burned by the same guy? You know what I mean? It's brutal. Like, he tortured us for 20 years. He's a perpetual cheater. He had the greatest quarterback ever. Never did anything without him. Nothing. made it to one playoffs without Tom Brady, and lost in the wild card round, snuck in, you know what I mean? By the skin of their teeth, got in the playoffs, so you can give that to them. But they got beat up and they were out in the first round. He's never done anything without Tom Brady. And he's been caught cheating 4 times. Caught cheating. That means he's cheated for 20 years and they just caught him 4 times. Not a single suspended game, nothing. And he's repeatedly proven to us he would rather score 80 points against the Jets, and no matter how bad we are, than just beat us and say, it's enough. He hates us. And I would never, if the Jets signed Bill Belichick, I would have some serious gut checking to do. So my answer would be, I think Woody and Bill Belichick are at odds. I don't see it. There's a million guys. I'd take anybody over Bill Belichick. I really would. He's going to come here. He's going to fail. And it's going to be the worst experiment ever. He can't draft for shit. You know what I mean? He's going to want full control. Like, no way. And we're going to listen to that fucking blowhard. I don't know, buddy. I get why. Don't get me wrong. And I don't mean to I'm certainly not attacking you. I want you to know that. But I just can't. I can't get with it, man. Paris says, Bill Belichick literally called Woody Johnson senile. They hate each other. Plus, he resigned as the head coach of the New York Jets on a cocktail napkin. Didn't even say to Bob Kraft, give me a minute. The answer is yes, but let me, or tell the press to wait and everything and say, let me at least write this on a letterhead or a piece of paper. You know what I mean? No. Complete and utter disrespect. He wants to coach the Cowboys. That's what he wants to do. I'm with you. Or the Giants, maybe. Pete Carroll's not even coaching his team. Jet State 30. He's old. He's done. He's like 80, isn't he? How old is fucking Pete Carroll? Let's see how old Pete Carroll is. 73. He's 73 years old and took a step back. He's not coaching. He's like in a management position. And that's like respect, you know? He's still got a football, but yeah, we won't run around on the sidelines again. He's going to build our team at 73. I'll tell you, there's really one guy. I'm tired of rookie head coaches, and a lot of the retreads are douchebags for one reason or, Pete Carroll being old. John Gruden would be interesting, but I think you want a guy who's experienced and has done good things. That is Mike Vrabel. Now, I'm really hoping it's Jeff Ulbricht. Like, we turn this thing around and we win, 9 of the next 11 games. You know what I mean? That would be great. Like, if we go on an absolute tear. We're clicking. Davante Adams, Garrett Wilson, and Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. They're lighting up the NFL. Our defense is not needed in the way we've needed them before because the offense can handle their own, but they're still good. We still got Quinnen and McDonald and Sauce and CJ and Sherwood and hopefully Reed's not real hurt. I would love to see that, but chances are we'll be looking for another head coach, and it should be Mike Vrabel. They already talked to him from what the rumors are. I hope it is because I want this season to go well. I don't want to be like at the end of the year, just like get these fucking guys out of here, all of them. You know what I mean? They couldn't even do it with a very well-stocked team. Like, look, injuries happen, man. Losing JJ was a huge hit to this defense because we had thinned out the defensive line. You got a lot of new pieces. But Reddick didn't show, which is crazy. Nobody could have predicted. You could say Joe Douglas this and that, but let's be real, man. This is the only holdout in the NFL. No one is saying this is a bright idea. No one. His agency dropped him. Nobody could have predicted that he would pull this. We're at week 6, and he's still holding out. He's accrued almost as much in fines and paychecks that he's forfeiting than he was going to get paid this year. Now, who knows what will happen if the Jets, if Joe Douglas is just like, dude, I got to keep my job, man. I don't give a shit about money anymore. Okay. But so he doesn't show, and then you lose JJ in game 2 or 3 or whatever it was. That's huge. Huge. And you're left with your depth guys, which is not working. They play well. I mean, at times, like they all have their impact. Like Kinlaw had a terrible game, but Kinlaw's been playing okay. He really has. He's on pace for like, let's see, 5 games. So that would be 33, another. So like, let's say 35, 36 pressures, like 4 sacks. You know what I mean? It's pretty damn good. It's pretty good defensive tackle position. So, but he had a time. He looked like complete. I mean, I didn't know what the hell was going on. Wyatt checking in. You wouldn't want Ben Johnson if we were going to go rookie, sure. Wyatt, I'm telling you, you look at our coaching history. I'll tell you this. Walt Michaels, first-time head coach. Joe Walton, first-time head coach. Bruce Coslett, first-time head coach. Pete Carroll, first-time head coach. Rich Kotite, not. Bill Parcells, not. Al Groh, so now we're on our 6th, first-time head coach. Herm Edwards, first-time head coach. Eric Mangini, first-time head coach. Rex Ryan, first-time head coach. Todd Bowles, first-time head coach. Adam Gase, not. So 3 out of 15, or was that 10, 11? I fucking know. 10, let's call it. Then we follow Bowles. Robert Saleh, first-time head coach. That's 11. Jeff Ulbricht, first-time head coach. It's 12. So 12 out of 15 coaches, because we'll add Weeb. We've had, you got Lou Holtz in there too, but that's a little bit before. So I'll start from Walt Michaels, right? In the 80s, my time. So we got 14 head coaches in that time. 3 were experienced. 11, 12. Yeah, my math, man. 12 coaches were rookies. Are we tired of watching guys come here and try to figure it out with our gauntlet? Like Vrabel was exceptional in Tennessee. The best quarterback he ever had was Tannehill, who's fine, but he's not, he's not one of the greats. He's not elite. He did a lot with very little, and he was a winning coach. And they moved on. Probably, some disagreements, some power struggle-y shit, whatever. But he's a great coach, man. He's a great coach. Has balls and knows what he's doing. Knows the game of football. That's the guy. You can't get him, and you can't. Ben Johnson would be top of the list. I'd go for John Gruden too. John Gruden with this roster, I'd like it. JW, you wouldn't download a car? What does that mean, buddy? You wouldn't download a car. Let me know what that means. I don't know. I don't know what that means. The main cat's checking back in. By the way, great stand-up short. So cool to see. Oh, yeah, I got to upload another one. I'll do it tomorrow for the members. All the stream beaners and beanbaggers will get the clips. I think I have 7. 6 or 7 or 8. One of those. The next one I'll put out is very, very dirty. So that's why I have the disclaimer. in the front. I was what's called a blue comedian. Blue. You know what blue means? Dirty. I was not for your mom. Although one of my most consistent fan bases when I was a touring stand-up comedian was older women. They loved me. Crazy. I was disgusting. I was deplorable and vulgar. And they were always like, I would always get old women after the show. They'd be like, "You are so funny." Like, really? Amazing. One time I did we got this charity event, and my group, the Bag of Nuts, they hired us to do a stand-up comedy show at this event. It was called like the Happy Birthday Fund, and it does gifts for kids. And so I was like, oh, great. So I was the headliner of that show. So there were like 3 comedians in my group and then me. And when we got there, I just happened to be wearing, at the time, I was an interesting fella. I was a crackhead and raging alcoholic, but I would always wear these Jesus shirts. Okay. That's like, I was weird, mixed up fella. I used to listen to sermons and cry on the way to get drugs. I was a tortured soul. So I was wearing this shirt, which it had like a hand coming out of my heart with the crucifix, like the crucified palm, And so I get there, I just was wearing it, again, mixed up. And I get there and I had no idea before I arrived that it was 100%. It was about maybe 150 middle-aged Jewish mothers. Okay. It's one of the funniest things that ever happened to me. So I'm like, no way. Why didn't you guys tell me that this is what that show was? What is this? Why didn't you tell me? You know who I am, man. I could have at least not wore the shirt. I could have prepared different material. Like, I'm disgusting. And so I'm drinking at the bar. It's like at like an American Legion, like a hall kind of a thing. So I'm drinking. They don't have any beer. They don't have any booze. They got wine. So I'm drinking plastic cups of white Zinfandel. And I'm trying to get loaded so I can at least be relaxed, right? So the bartender cuts me off. He says, "Oh, you've had enough." And I'm like, "Bro, I've had like 6 or 7 glasses of like you got to give me like 3 bottles of." I'm like, "I'm tired of these little cups." I kept saying, like, "Can you just give me like 5?" And so he says, "You've had enough." I said, "Dude, I'm the headliner. This is what I need. Like, I don't really need to do it." I get in this whole thing with this guy. He won't give it to me. So I'm all aggravated. I'm scared. And I get up. I asked somebody for a button-down shirt. I said, "Give me a shirt. I got to cover this up. I can't possibly." Long story short is I get up there and I'm just honest with them. I say, "Guys, I got to tell you, I had no idea what this was. I am not a nice guy. Like, my comedy is not family friendly." And they're like, "We're cool. Don't worry about it. Do your act." And I'm like, "I don't think you understand what I'm telling you." And they insist. They're drinking too. They're loose. And I do a bit and it works. And they laughing and we love it. Keep going. And I said, "Okay." And then I get more honest. I said, first I start yelling at the guy. I said, "And this fucking guy back here, he don't know I'm an alcoholic. And he's cutting me off. I'm drinking pink white Zinfandel. And I'm like, I need a bottle of scotch." You know what I mean? So they like that. They go, "Give him his wine," and all that kind of stuff. So one lady goes and grabs a bottle of wine and pours me a glass and the whole thing. So then I get even more honest. I said, what I'm going to do? I said, "I have this shirt on," and I got nervous. They're like, show us the shirt. We don't care. We're cool. And it's going well. I'm supposed to do 45 minutes. I'm about 20 minutes into my set. And I said to them, "Okay." Well, I tell them about the shirt and they go, "We want to see the shirt. God, take that damn button down off and throw us the shirt." And I said, "Okay, you're sure you're not going to get mad at me or judge me or anything?" And they said, No. So I take the shirt off and they look at it and they cheer. And I said this, okay, to 150 middle-aged Jewish mothers. This is what I said. Okay. Now, again, this is not one. I don't get upset about this. This is just what happened. Okay. So I said to them, I'm not really a comedian. I'm here to save your souls with the body of Christ. That's what I said to them. And the cheering, and I couldn't even get out of there. Like, so these women, these middle-aged to old Jewish moms, they kept me there for 2 hours after the show, after the thing was over. I couldn't get out of there. It was like, it ended up being one of the greatest nights ever. But so that's the kind of stuff I'd get into, main catch. Anyway, I hope you guys like that story. Again, I'm not trying to offend anybody one way or the other with that. Just what happened. Okay, Ron Weiss checking in. My man GreenBean, bringing in a rookie coach is bad as working for AT&T and called it a secret name. Yeah, that's one of the bits. If you guys didn't watch the clip, it's on my page. Just go to the page. You'll see it. It's there. If you want it, because that one is for everybody. So you can watch that. But yeah, it's a short one, but it's like it's one of the bits. Thank you, Ron. You're the man. Wyatt checking back in. GreenBean and Zach Wilson, the MILF Hunters who made me a Jets fan. Like really does attract like. Yeah, dude, Wyatt, you're one of my favorites, buddy. I think you know that. You're a good dude to have around. You're a strange Jets fan, like from Wyoming, stationed in California. Somehow you're a Jets fan. It's a crazy thing. I enjoy having you with us, my good buddy. JW, yeah, I don't think, thank you, Jay. He says, yeah, I don't think there is any reason he cannot coach. Thought the NFL has not disclosed all the info he emailed because he resigned on his own accord. Did you mean Gruden? Right? So I think you're talking about Gruden. Is that what you were saying before? Let me see your previous comment here. You wouldn't download a car. I still don't know what that means, Jay. But I'll go to this one. Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, he might not want to deal with the bullshit anymore. Like to be, like examined. And I'm not saying what he did was right or anything like that. The truth is, I don't know all that much. Those stories don't interest me in the way they interest a lot of people. If somebody's a scumbag, like if somebody's molesting somebody or, using their power, like I get the fuck out of here, man. Like I don't like those people. I think they should pay. If you're racist and you're making, and you're, like you're a blatant piece of shit, like, yeah, man, they should suffer every penalty. But I'm also, obviously, I just told you a story about my past. If you guys, like if I was like a public figure, like a political guy or an NFL coach, and they went back into my past 20 years ago and found some shit that I said, I am literally, other than my physical shell, my skin bag that I live in, other than that being what's carrying me around, like I am not that person. As a matter of fact, if I met that person, I wouldn't get along with that version of myself. I know that already. I know who he was and the shit that he said and did. Believe me, I could hang with him for an hour, but like if we were at the same place, but I wouldn't like that guy around. I wouldn't trust him. I would know right away that guy's fucked up. I don't want him around me. So if you found shit from 20 years ago and said, he thinks this, I would just flat out say, like, bro, yeah, I did think that. I don't anymore. Here's the thing. I reserve the right to change my mind. I reserve the right to evolve as a human being. So, Dad's saying I'm not defending Gruden. I'm just saying in general. So I don't know what that's up, what that's about. If he's a racist piece of shit, then he shouldn't coach. Especially with so many, the opposite race, not the opposite, but there's not his race is the predominant race in you can't, if you have those opinions, you got to go. Sorry. It's just very simple for me. Like, I don't get jammed up with it. It's very simple. I'm not saying you don't deserve happy. You can think whatever the hell you want to think. You can't do that here. Sorry. And make $8 million a year. That said, I don't know anything. I don't even know why I'm still talking about it, Jay. That's the truth. There you are again. Look at you. You're the best. You wouldn't download a car was an anti-piracy ads from probably your gray period before suburban. Maybe. You wouldn't download a car. Yeah, let me see what it is. Let's see. Let's all join Jay. I don't know. Does anybody know what he's like? Does anybody remember that? You wouldn't download a car. There it is. First thing. All I did was write DOW. You wouldn't download a car. Mandela effect. What is you wouldn't download a car? I'm sure we've all seen the infamous you wouldn't download a car anti-piracy thing. Message was meant to deter piracy by scaring audiences, reminding them of its illegality. Oh, I see, Jay. He's helping me now. See that? That's funny. That's good. Let me see. Can we watch the video of it? Let me see. I'm gonna give. They're gonna give me something. I can't play it. I can play it for myself. Let me see. All right. I can't. There's too much music and shit. I can't mess around with this channel, man. Did you guys know somebody fucking hacked into this channel? Listen to this. Somebody hacked into this channel and snuck a video into my drafts, which I never go in because if I don't like something, I just delete it 99 out of 100 times. But I'm always in my channel, so I see everything. They tucked this in and waited like 2 months, and then they uploaded it to my channel. Something about losing weight. And then, so they uploaded it, then put in a claim against me. And YouTube gave me a copyright strike. And the reason they want to do it is because YouTube's new policy, which is interesting to say the least, I can't just appeal it anymore. I have to fill out a legal document that the claimant gets to see with personal information. Does that make any sense? I don't get it. Aaron Daniels. Yeah, I posted the other one. Did I not post it? It's me in my drafts. That's fucking hilarious. I'll check. I can't do it right now. I'll check. This should be my third clip. If there's not another one up there, then that's on me. I'll double check. If it's very, very rare that I upload something and I keep it private by mistake. Like I've done it, but it's been a long, like 2-3 years since I've done that. But I will check for you. I remember LimeWire. Sure. Then what was the other one? LimeWire was, well, obviously Napster got us started. I had all kinds of shit. You know what I got from Napster was Jim Morrison and Jimi Hendrix live. I couldn't believe I found that. I was like, no way. And it was real. And they were like on stage, right? Jim Morrison was screaming some of the most vulgar things ever. And Jimi Hendrix was like, come on, baby, let's calm down. It's funny, man. You got to check it out. Let's see. I am from before now. I remember I argued against this. Remember when like Metallica and everybody teamed up and they tried to, they sued Napster and everything. I was like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, I mean, for years we would buy a tape and record it on our dual cassette tape. I get a blank cassette. You record it and give it to your friend. Here, you don't have to buy the album. Here, I got it. If you want the album, that's one thing. You can do that. If you want the artwork or whatever, of course. But if you just want the music, here it is. We've been doing that for years. I said, now you can just widen your scope and get it from somebody else. Right? But I didn't I argued for it. I argued against Metallica. But now I don't like it. I think it's crazy. I have a lot of good friends like deep in the music industry. Like that's their livelihood. Like my best friend in the world. That's his whole life. And he's like, he can't make money in the same way. I know famous musicians. Listen to this. I won't tell you who. But I know like world internationally known musicians that will go on tour, play, they're not like stadiums, they're not Taylor Swift, but they'll play and people cheer and they do the whole thing and they make some money. And then when the tour's over, they drive Uber. I know people that do that. Think about that. That's what that whole file sharing thing ended up doing. I couldn't see that. I was like, fuck it, man. But again, I was perpetually broke. I was a very bad drug addict and alcoholic, and I needed. So I liked the idea of just signing on a computer and getting music. I didn't have to buy it anymore. So I liked it, but it was stealing. So you wouldn't download a car, right, Paolo? Come on. You remember. Infrared checking in areas. You got. I'm doing this every Tuesday night at 10:35. I start. I have to add the extra 5 minutes, just so you know. I'm not trying to be cool. People do that, like 9:46. Like I don't know. If that's you, that's fine. That's not me. I can't be that cool. I just can't. I'm cool or I'm not. I can't do something to be cool. Just this thing I can't do. But I'll tell you this. The reason that I put 10:35 is because Ryan and Matt and I, after the Talking Jets panel, we talk business. So we talk shop. And it's just, you'd be surprised how big of a deal that 5 minutes really is. That's when I go use the bathroom between streams and everything. Like, that's when I do that. So I usually, at like 10:25, I go, guys, I got to go. And then we stay till 10:27, 10:28. And then I run into the house, which is about 30 yards, 40 yards that way. Maybe let's call it 100 feet. All right, which would be 30 yards, 35 yards, 33 yards, 33.3 yards away. My house is in a whole different place. Like I'm out in the woods in a little building, little shed-like structure. See? You got the drums and everything. So this is where I am. My house is over there. So I like to go in, make sure my kids are, you know what I mean? That's all. But so 10:35 on Tuesday nights after the Talking Jets panel, I'm here. Q-Tip drives Uber? Nah. Q-Tip's fine, my man. Q-Tip is not the guy I'm talking about. I'm actually talking about a drummer in particular, but I know more than him that does that they have another job. There's a drummer that you all would know if I mentioned, maybe not all of you, but a lot of you would go, no shit. Yeah, it's not a point of, I'm not making fun of them. I'm just pointing out that, it's not what it used to be. Like you think they're rock stars. It's not, rock stars ain't what they used to be. Sad. I like to believe my rock stars are living high on the hog. Matt, I'm not even doing that tonight. I'm trying to get over this Buffalo loss by telling White Zinfandel stories. I was just talking about you, dude, to my wife, actually. You know that? I shit you not. 2 days ago, I was just telling a story, but about a completely different thing that kind of had to do with what I was talking about before, but in a completely different way, obviously. I was just telling my wife about you. I shit you not. I've known Matthias Simon for many, many years before YouTube, right, man? We were doing message boards. Matt ran the best message board out there, the Greenhouse. Oh, we loved it. A lot of guys that are in here, Dakota Jets fan, Tin Star, lots of guys come in. I think Connecticut Jets fan, maybe. Lots of guys. They were back there with us. They remember. I know. I'm not going to think about that because I'm going to believe that Davante Adams coming in, building on, again, 3 losses, 10 combined points, dude. Missed opportunities. We make a field goal that Zerline makes more times than he doesn't in Denver. That game's ours. Shitty game, but it was still ours. Against the Vikings, We're driving. We're on the 26-yard line. Aaron Rodgers throws a pick. Throws it inside when he should throw it outside. This one should have won it. We were in the end zone, man. You know what I mean? Like, and then the other, it's like, it's just, so I'm choosing to believe that we just got a couple pieces to put together. Let the old brick thing settle in. Brought on Davante Adams, Aaron Rodgers' love affair. Let's get it going. That's what I'm saying. With that all said, yes, that's the guy, Pete Best. I wouldn't be surprised. That fucking poor guy. That's the saddest story in all of music to me. That's the saddest one ever. The only one that even comes kind of close is the guitarist for Def Leppard, Pete Willis. They made the second album, High and Dry. They had the hit, Bringing on the Heartbreak, but it wasn't a huge hit. It was a hit-ish. And his girlfriend, his fiance, didn't want him to be in the band. And he quit for her. And Def Leppard's next album was Pyromania, biggest fucking rock album of the year. And they followed that a couple years later with Hysteria, 10 times the success of Pyromania. They're still filling stadiums. Still. And he left. Jesus Christmas, man. Like, whatever disappointments I have, you just think of Pete Best. He's the drummer who left the Beatles actually moved on from him, though. They wanted Ringo Starr, so they pushed him out. But the Beatles, you were in the Beatles, dude. Right? Crazy. What's up, Jason Edwards? Tell your wife and son, brother and pops, I said hello, please. Please do that for me. Yesterday's game was too much. I'm dealing with life. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. Dude, look, the only thing I can say, Jay, is that the amount of weight that we put on it can be adjusted. Like, my week used to be ruined when the Jets lost. Especially on the seasons when we had hope. We'd lose, it would ruin I would just start coming back around Thursday, Friday. My whole week was like different. My Sunday was destroyed. That's not the case anymore. I don't let it do that to me. I'm disappointed. So, and I talk to you guys every day. You guys know how I am. But it's like, I no longer get there, which is good. I had to do that consciously. So that's where we can adjust a little bit. But man, come on, right, Jason? Come on already. Fucking 14 years, not even getting in a wild card game, not one extra week of football for us. We could be proud. So I don't know. Well, you're a good man, and I enjoy knowing you. Your brother plays bass and Vanilla Fudge, huh? That's cool. Brother-in-law. Cool. That's just still just as cool. That's neat. You mean Phil Collin is the guitarist that replaced Pete Willis I think it was Pete Willis in Def Leppard. Ron Weiss, the saddest story is Brad Delp. Brad Delp. Wait, hold on. Yeah, Boston, right. It's very sad. It sucks because he was quite literally, in my opinion, the greatest voice in rock history. Nobody had a voice like him. And the story is, he was a very tortured soul and ended up killing himself. Like, fucking sad. But I mean sad, like that's like a different, that's a different thing, Ron. You're not wrong. But you know what I mean? Like having to live with a choice sad. That's Pete Best or a scenario. Like Pete Best wasn't even in the band. Like he didn't get one album, so he couldn't even get any royalties, nothing. You know what I mean? Right before, get out, this guy's in. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I knew it's funny because I actually was bugging out on Boston not a month ago, 2 months, maybe. I mean, bugging out. Like, well, you know what I like to do, Ron? I like to watch young people react, like those reaction videos on YouTube. I like to watch the next generation, this younger generation experience Pink Floyd, Boston, all that kind of shit. Seeing Paul McCartney. I like it. Like I like seeing them experience because I get to re-experience it through them. Like for the first time. I love it. Like they bug out on, they can't believe what they're hearing and seeing with Pink Floyd. But Boston's another one. They're like, no way. Listen to these guys. Boston's great. Go Hangard's into thrash metal. That's my son, dude. My son's a great screamer singer, man. I hear that shit in my house all day. It's why I built this other half of the studio. I'm like, dude, go the fuck out there, man. I can't hear this anymore. And I'm metal. I'm like, he's like, rah! Like I can't even pretend. It hurts me. Let's see. All right, so we'll do one more comment. Paris, GreenBean, Pete Best finally did make a lot of money on the Beatles anthologies. He did? All right, good for him. That makes me feel a little better, Paris. Thank you. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that. That's a good way to end the show. So we're going to end it. Oh, look, we got a Chicago fan in here. I love Freddie Mercury, Sleeping Angel. I love Freddie Mercury too. That's another band I watch people react to. You guys should try that. Go on YouTube and just type in like Pink Floyd reaction. Do Pink Floyd Comfortably Numb. That's the best one because they used the Pulse concert, which I saw that tour live. Great tour. But they can't believe what they're seeing. I saw this one lady started hysterically crying listening to Pink Floyd, this young girl. I was like, oh, like, it hits me, man. You guys will dig it. I did. I watched them bug out to Rush too. I was on that tip for a solid year. I watched hundreds of reaction videos. They're great, but I love it too. So guys, we're going to go ahead and end the stream. Thank you so much. Oh my God, it's almost a 2-hour show. I fucking can't keep doing this. I tell myself every night, I'm going to do this for an hour every week. And it's almost 2 hours. It's an hour and 40 minutes right now. I'm happy though. I love you guys. So, hey, what's next? Tomorrow, me and Tigo on the Armchair GM on the Talking Jets Network, 8 p.m., everybody. Come and hang out with us. It'll be fun. With that all said, I'll see you next time. Have a great night, everybody.
I think he's going to be day one, a violent vertical edge setter.